Oh my God. Is this really real? Let me know. Let me know if it's real. You guys are not going to believe this news. Maybe I'm just finding out about it, and that's why I'm so surprised. Oh my God. Hold up. Hold up. Okay. Yo. Let me share this with everybody. Let the people get in here. It is Friday, so I don't expect a lot of people in here, but we definitely got some breaking news in this mess. Oh my God. We got some breaking news. Yo, we live now. Let me show you what it is. Okay. CNN is reporting this. So, I'm in shock. I'm in shock. I'm in shock. This was literally just an hour ago. I don't know if I'm like anybody else have heard this. Let me know. Drop a one in the chat if you've heard about this already. Yo, I am in shock. I'm in shock. Okay. Watch this.
We are just learning this hour that Jeffrey Epstein's ex-girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, was granted limited immunity in order to talk with Trump's personal attorney turned Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. Now, what did this mean, this limited immunity? Well, it allowed Maxwell to provide information without any fear that anything she said that is truthful can be used against her in the future. Maxwell is, of course, serving a 20-year sentence in connections with Epstein's sex crimes. It is a conviction she's actually in the process of appealing. And after the second day of these unusual meetings between Maxwell and the Trump Department of Justice, Maxwell's attorney just said this about a potential pardon from Trump.
We haven't spoken to the president or anybody about a pardon just yet. And listen, the president this morning said he had the power to do so. We hope he exercises that power in the right and just way.
She is going to be pardoned. Okay. She gave up 100 names. She's going to be pardoned. I'm telling you what is happening. Okay. So for those of you people that are coming in my chat really mad that I'm talking about what the hell is going on, I'm letting y'all know what's happening. Okay. The lady has been given, what is it? Limited immunity to talk about specific things. Okay. So what does that even mean? Where are we going to go from here? At first, they didn't want to talk to her. Now they want to talk to her. At first, they didn't want to talk to her. Now they want to talk to her. And that's her attorney right there. We are watching the corruption play out right now, right in front of our eyes, y'all. And you guys still, some of y'all still, go ahead, honey. Some of you guys still are drinking the Jim Jones Kool-Aid on this bullshit. I had somebody in my comments, oh, you have serious Trump hate. I don't hate the man. But I'm telling you guys what we're seeing. This is happening. It's going to happen, y'all. It's going to happen. Let me hit play, okay?
All right, look, people have been talking about this for days. So at least they're coming out and saying it, black and white. They're not beating around the bush. They're not pretending they don't want to pardon. They want to pardon. They're saying it. And as for Trump, he's saying he doesn't want to talk about it right now, but he's leaving the door open. Listen to what he had to say.
A lot of people are asking me about pardons. Obviously, this is no time to be talking about pardons. It's something I haven't thought about. It's really something. I'm allowed to do it, but it's something I have not thought about.
All right, well, he says he hasn't thought about it. But of course, in the context of everything that's going on right now, I mean, come on. He also knows Maxwell personally. And he said this about her right after her arrest in connections with Epstein's crimes in 2020.
I do wish her well. I'm not looking for anything bad for her.
Well, tonight, far-right activist Laura Loomer, who is in Trump's ear and is highly influential in the MAGA world, tonight posted an upside-down smiley face on a post about Maxwell seeking a pardon from Trump. And it is very important to listen closely to Trump's words about pardoning Maxwell, because he said, quote, "This is not the time to be talking about pardons." Right. And then he continued and he said his words again, "I haven't thought about it."
Exactly.
Some people might say, well, that means he hasn't thought about it and he's not opening the door. And okay, well, those exact words do, though, sound very familiar.
Well, let me tell you, Earlier, before he even said about, I haven't thought about it, they had asked him about this. Are you planning to pardon her? Well, no, I'm not. Yada, yada. That's not even a conversation. So it's not like he hasn't thought about it. He has thought about it. But the thing is, it's neither here nor there as far as that goes. We know where this is going. That's the thing. And we're watching it all play out. Okay, guys, these 1,000 victims are never going to get any justice. I'm sorry. How can you? How? 100 names that she's got to give up? She won't be charged. Or maybe it will happen. I don't know. But I will tell you what, Trump is not going to be one of those names. Trump is not going to be one of those names mentioned. Okay?
I don't want to talk about pardons for Michael Flynn yet.
You pardon Paul Manafort? I have not even given it a thought as of this moment.
Roger Stone, are you going to pardon him, sir? He's been convicted of felonies.
Am I going to pardon him? Well, I hadn't thought of it. I think it's very tough what they did to Roger Stone.
Flynn, Manafort, and Stone were all eventually pardoned by Trump. And tonight, we are also learning new details about what Team Trump.
Everybody gets a pardon. He's handing them out like cheesecake. Everybody gets a little pardon slice, okay? It is what it is. Dee, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. And shout out, Dee, I think you sent me a message on Facebook. Thank you, my love. I appreciate you. Thank you for the heads up. There was something going on this topic. Thank you. And if you've been gifted, put some confettis in the chat. Not only pardon or commute, but I bet she goes into the witness protection program so no one can find her. That would make the most logical sense, honestly. Like, I'm not about to disclose 100 names and then have like a target on my head. You put me on that witness protection because that's what I would do, right? That's what you would do. Yes. So let's go ahead and keep watching this and let me know what you guys think in the comments.
Wanted to know over these past 2 days of talks with Maxwell.
She was asked maybe about 100 different people. She answered questions about everybody, and she didn't hold anything back.
100 different people? 100 names? I mean,
100 different people. I feel like what do you mean 100 names? The lady is definitely going to need some witness protection program. This is like different level. We're talking about different level of a situation here. A whole different level. And how do we know it's true? Well, there you go. Who's going to check on it? I mean, I'm assuming they're going to investigate it. How can she say whatever name she wants? She can remember who and what was on the list or who she helped. You know what I mean? Her attorney is being paid for by Trump. Queen Lily, how do you know? Tell me, how do you know? This is crazy. You said, I didn't even think we're going to get this news on a Friday evening out of all times. You said he will wait the last day and then he'll give her full pardon after it's too late to impeach him. Oh my God. We cannot allow him to play us this way. Well, it's like we're 7 weeks in, or excuse me, 7 months in. So there's that. I am just like, wow. That's what I said. He said the list was fake. A list doesn't exist. Now it does. Those 100 names are fake. Fake news. Fake 100 names. Dr. Seuss is on that list. I'm just joking. I don't know if he is. I'm just saying. But like fake names. I don't know. Is that what it is? And they always be dropping this stuff on the Friday, right? Really? You said you said it earlier on Attorney Ben's channel, Midas Touch Network. Ooh, I'll have to check it out. Okay. I think for the first time, I'm completely at loss for words. 2025 is definitely something. Well, you guys, I don't think I didn't expect 2025 to be, I don't know, not like this. Not like this. Let's keep playing and let me know what you guys think in the comments.
First of all, that is incredible. And it does fit with the narrative that, well, there's a lot of people to focus on here.
You should focus on Clinton. You should focus on the president of Harvard, the former president of Harvard. You should focus on
Harvard, the former president of Harvard. What bone does this man have to pick with Harvard president? I'm so late on that. So there's that. Focus on crooked Hillary and Bill Clinton, which, by the way, I'm not fans of them. Please note that. I do believe that there's something really weird going on with them. There always has been. that situation right there. Focus on Oprah. Focus on all the Obama. He's throwing Obama in there. Anybody and anybody that he could throw. Okay.
On some of the hedge fund guys, I'll give you a list. These guys lived with Jeffrey Epstein. I sure as hell didn't.
What?
Now, of course, Trump hasn't been accused of.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me go back. The clownery. Hold up.
Well, there's a lot of people to focus on here.
You should focus on Clinton. You should focus on the president of Harvard, the former president of Harvard. You should focus on some of the hedge fund guys. I'll give you a list. These guys lived with Jeffrey Epstein. I sure as hell didn't.
Now, of course, Trump hasn't been accused of wrongdoing. Neither have any.
He said they live with Epstein. I sure as hell didn't. Those pictures of me partying it up with them, fake news. AI, not real. None of them are real. Fake news. Fake news. Lord have mercy. It's just so much fake news. Can never get it straight.
Of the individuals that Trump just referenced. But of course, Trump has been told by his own attorney general that his name does appear in those Epstein files multiple times. Out front now, Paula Reed. And Paula, the breaking news here is this limited immunity. So Maxwell talks for 2 days. She's got an appeal in the system. So limited immunity has huge value. Huge value. Yeah. And nothing she said can now be used against her. So is a pardon in the offing?
Well, it's unclear if a pardon is on the table. I think you're really smart to recall what Trump has said previously before issuing pardons. But Maxwell is in a different league. First of all, you would never put a client across from the Justice Department in a situation like this, where she has been convicted of sex trafficking minors, is appealing that conviction. You would never put them across from the Deputy Attorney General without some form of immunity. So it's not surprising at all. She got limited immunity. She's protected from what she says unless she lies.
Limited immunity unless she lies. Okay. So if the lady is truthful and they're going to be, which by the way, I don't know what to trust. I don't trust the DOJ at this point. I don't trust any of these people. I'm going to be honest with you. And that's crazy because I hate to feel that way, but that's just kind of how, where we live. We can't trust anybody. She's giving her version. She's not supposed to lie. If she lies, she could get in trouble. So there's that. But if she's got nothing to lose at this point, y'all, get your little, witness protection program and, tell what you know and then kind of go from there. That's what I would do.
But her lawyer insists that she has answered truthfully and that she can corroborate the things that she has said. When it comes to a pardon, though, that is a risk for this administration to do a commutation or a pardon, even if she gave something of value. Because remember, so much of the concern, the outrage, the political firestorm that we're seeing here is motivated by a concern that sexual predators are being protected. So if you were going to reward someone who victims testified at her trial that she recruited them, groomed them, and in some cases sexually assaulted them, that is unlikely to do anything to quell this political firestorm. So that's an option. It's clearly something that a lot of folks have talked about.
And that's the issue that we all have, is that these people are getting away with stuff every day. There's no consequences, and money makes that happen. Okay. If you have the money, you could get yourself out of such crazy ass situations. You can buy yourself the best legal team, the best get the best representation, move stuff around. That's all you can do. That's all to get out of the situations like this. And I feel like we're protecting these Pedialites more than anything, right? Susan, thank you so much for the $5. Rabbit, I think that Maxwell is not a weakling, especially since she put up with Epstein all those years. Susan, I think that she's playing her cards right. She's sitting on information. How the hell I told you guys, how is the Wall Street Journal getting all this information if it's not from her camp? And she's telling her people, yo, listen, I'm sitting here for 20 years, and if you don't get me out, I'm going to drop some of these birthday cards, photos, poems, diaries, entries, whatever it may be. That's what it sounds like to me. That's what she's doing. She's working her way up there. And I just think that she's got nothing to lose. I would do the same if I was her, And again, Susan, thank you so much. Olsen, thank you so much for the $4.99, my love. Thank you. But let me know what you guys think. Listen, I'm just giving my commentary to this. I'm a little bit surprised.
No reporting that has been put on the table, but the consequences for the administration, that is only going to make this worse.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Paula, thank you very much. So, on the back of this significant development, as Paula is reporting, I want to bring in Adam Wren. He is the senior national politics correspondent for Politico. Barry Levine is also back with us, the author of Spider, Inside the Criminal Web of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. I spent many, many years investigating this. And Ryan Goodman, the editor-in-chief of Just Security and the former special counsel of the Defense Department. So grateful to all of you. Barry, here we are, limited immunity. 100 individuals, 100 people are named, according to Ghislaine Maxwell's attorney today, by Ghislaine Maxwell in these conversations with the Department of Justice and Mr. Blanche. I know that you have real questions about whether she can be trusted. And of course, her immunity only applies if she tells the truth. So what do you think?
If she tells the truth, she's got nothing to lose. Let me tell you, and if she lies, she can be in trouble, right? Like, you can get in trouble for lying to these federal people, these agents. If you lie, you can get in trouble. She's got nothing to lose. So yeah, why not give up 100 names? She's played her cards right, guys. She really did.
About this breaking news that she was granted limited immunity for what she said.
Well, Aaron, certainly this is the most sensational development that we've had in this case. Here we have someone who is right next to Jeffrey Epstein, who was his co-conspirator. And for the very first time, she talked for 9 straight hours over 2 days. What she said in those 9 hours could result possibly in the arrest of other individuals, men who may have helped facilitate the sex trafficking with Jeffrey Epstein.
And this didn't happen before. Why? This is the crazy part. This shit didn't happen before. And this woman's been sitting there. They've never visited her to get her testimony. They just went ahead and moved forward with this whole situation. She's lied before. I get that, but it doesn't mean she can lie again. This is a little bit different, guys. Remember what I told you? Epstein, she was a ride or die for Epstein. He's dead. Okay? She can ride now on her own. He died. He's gone, apparently. Unless some of you believe that he's living in Cuba out there, taking a little sun bath with a little, whatever margarita drink that he might have there. That might be the case. I don't know. But she was a ride or die until he died, and now he's gone. So there you go. That's what it is. And if I was her, I'd, be honest, give them all the names, everybody 100, and, get into the witness protection program and change my name and be gone.
And also individuals who might have taken part in the sexual abuse. I'm only thinking about the victims tonight, how they're reacting to this. If Ghislaine Maxwell is finally going to do one thing right in her life, it is tell the truth and help these victims get closure on this horrible, horrible crime.
They don't care.
Right. Of course, she was convicted.
They don't care. They don't care about closure. They don't care about any of that, y'all. They don't care. If they did, they would have done this before, a long, long time ago. They just don't. I don't know what else to say. You say she's taking a risk / life. Says we're heading towards martial law, says Karen. Oh my God. And we have yet to still release those Epstein files. We're still waiting for them. Let me know when they've been released, because a lot of this does seem very much like a distraction. Like somebody had said earlier in the comments, like, we're focused on Maxwell. We should be focused on the victims. Well, that's all kind of connected. But the reality is that we should really be putting pressure on why these files have not been released yet. Why not? Clearly, there's names. It's not fake news. Nothing was a Jeffrey Epstein hoax. And people being mad at the president for running that narrative is, oh my God, so right on. I don't understand how you cannot be. I don't get it.
There have been opportunities for truth before, Ryan. Here we are. Maybe now's the moment. What do you think happens here now, Ryan? She's got this limited immunity. Apparently, according to her lawyer, mentions 100 people, or is asked about 100 people, but 100 individuals are discussed. So what happens now?
So if we were in a normal situation, what could happen next is that the Justice Department might very well have leads to open investigations into other people. And there's strong reasons to believe, in fact, it's a fact, that there were several other people involved in the sexual abuse of minors, people who are in the elite class and have gotten away with it.
Yep.
But this is not a usual situation.
Elite class, remember, some of these elites, people think that it's just celebrities. There are people out there who are rich that we don't really know their names. They're able to kind of stay in the darkness and have all this money. And to be quite honest, I don't blame them. I would probably have done the same if I had a lot of money. Go under hiding and do different things and not be worried about people having my name out there. I wouldn't want to be a public figure. So for people to assume it's just celebrities, I think that's off. There are people, was it earlier this morning, somebody said that there are people on this list, some of which are known and unknown to the public, right? So keep that in mind. And I absolutely agree with this. I think we should respect it, but I don't want the victim's information. I want the predator's information. We want these predators to be brought to justice, right? There you go. See, I don't know. See, it could be all of that. And there could be last names that have generational, craziness going on. See, I don't know, man. I think that this is deeper than what we actually think. We're talking about international crimes. We're not talking about the just United States, okay? Think about what somebody said earlier this morning in the live. They said, well, is it possible, like, what are the implications of releasing victims' names if some of these victims could be international victims? Could that affect or hinder their cases and stuff like that? Potentially, there's that. And we don't want that information. But we don't know how they go. Remember when I talked about Jean Brunel this morning? Oh, you're going to have to wait, honey. Wait. Yes, I'll give you some in a minute. When we talked about Jean Brunel this morning, the man who ended his life in that Paris prison in France, right? He was bringing, based on what Virginia Gouffre was saying, he was bringing victims from like Paris, from other countries, very poor areas of the country, and he was flying these victims all over. And you're talking about 12, 13-year-old girls that he was pitching modeling gigs. This is international crimes, and it involves so many international people. And it doesn't stop at Epstein. It's got to be bigger than that, and it has to be bigger than even Ghislaine Maxwell. That's why I think that's why people are scared, because some of these names we've never even heard of publicly. That's how deep this darkness goes.
So the very fact that we're here today with the Deputy Attorney General running lead in meeting with a prisoner is extremely unusual. You would think it would be the line prosecutors who know the case and would be able to detect at any moment in which she's straying from the truth, especially somebody who's been charged by the Justice Department with 2 counts of perjury. And we're here after Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, said in July 7th that there was no evidence to even predicate an investigation on other people, which is implausible to the point of ludicrous. So the fact that they'd have to go to Ghislaine Maxwell for opening an investigation doesn't make sense. So what would happen in a normal time or not in a normal time at all?
That's the
No,
part.
we're not. And of course, at the DOJ, the person who was leading this up.
Lex Wexner. Don't forget Mike Jeffries, who we initially, when his arrest situation was happening, this was in October of 2024, we reported on this. Mike Jeffries, the former CEO of Abercrombie & Fitch, it was said it was only 15 victims. Male model victims that were essentially trafficked and were given drugs and stuff like that and made promises of careers, and they were flown to different places, right? And he had like 2 people. It went from 15 to 40, all male victims from the modeling industry. Mike Jeffries has a connection with Les Wexner, this guy, and then the other guy too. And now he's got Alzheimer's, and so he's right at that point where he's about to be held responsible for the things that he's done, and suddenly he's got Alzheimer's. You don't think that guy is part of the situation and the ropes and the BS that's in this industry as well? He's in the modeling industry. Abercrombie & Fitch is acting like, oh, we denounced that and we don't want nothing to do with that, when his ass was committing those crimes while he was head CEO, promising these young men modeling careers, putting up hotel rooms looking like Abercrombie & Fitch stores, and they were performing acts in these hotel rooms with these young men. Like this is how deep this crazy shit goes, guys. Okay.
is they got rid of her. They got rid of her a week ago. So, layering that into this onion, Adam. I mean, this ensures the story's not going away, right? In fact, the story is escalating, right? I mean, no matter how much President Trump may have wished this would have just gone away, it has not gone away. So what are you hearing about how he is behind the scenes, about right now, tonight, about his inability to essentially control the narrative on this and make the story die down as he tried to do?
Yeah, well, I reported this week from a Republican close to the White House who was in the Oval Office with them after he found out that he was implicated. And essentially, he told this person that he thought that the media, his political opponents, were going to, quote, F him anyways, regardless of whether he had distance from the criminality in this, that the appearance of this was not going to be good for him politically. And so that gives us a window into his state of mind here.
So that's why you aligned yourself with people that would make you look well in this situation. And that's what he did. He aligned himself with people that were pushing for these files to be released. It was this very administration that pushed it. The Democrats weren't even pushing for it. They're like, man, we might be on there too. Actually, they buy it, and I believe it. I believe that hundreds of these people, the 100 people that are supposed names that this lady gave up, right? I think it's a little bit of both. You're going to find a little bit of both. But yeah.
That he's defensive about it. And of course, the timeline, as we look at it in light of the Wall Street Journal reporting, reveals that. After that May briefing, he becomes remarkably defensive over a period of weeks, where at a cabinet meeting,
right,
he shoots down, says that Jeffrey Epstein isn't interesting, is boring. And then he has the Truth Social post a couple Saturdays ago where he attacks Democrats, Obama and Biden, for putting phony stuff in these files. So clearly he's frustrated and is defensive about this.
Oh, sorry guys. So that's kind of where it ended. But what I think that that's a normal thing, that they would give her immunity, at least for the meantime, right? Like at least that's what it sounds like. That's the thing that they give. But we wanted to make sure that people were aware of what's going on. Then you got Brian Tyler Cohen. Oh my goodness. Hold up.
Legal breakdown, Glenn. We've got big news today, as it appears that Donald Trump has offered Ghislaine Maxwell temporary immunity. So can you explain first and foremost what the implications are, what this means that she was offered immunity while she was speaking with Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche?
Yeah, Brian, first and foremost, our viewers should know that when you offer somebody immunity, you're making it much, much harder for their testimony to ever be credited, to ever be believed, certainly by a jury. If Ghislaine Maxwell were ever put on the stand to testify, she would be destroyed. Her credibility would be lower than whale shit. And I don't believe any jury would convict based on her word. But more directly, what does immunity mean? Immunity is given, and immunity is not the friend of the prosecution. Why do I say that? Because we like to hold people accountable for their crimes.
Wait.
That is our goal. That is.
Hold up. Shout out to Sylvia. I think Sylvia's working. Sylvia said, hold up, Sylvia. What'd you say? I'm jumping on real quick. I just got report that MAGA people chased Katie Porter at her town hall meeting that she was hosting today. She's currently running for governor of Cali. Oh my God. Wow. I wonder what happened. I'll have to check it out.
Our mission, that is our purpose as prosecutors. When you give somebody immunity, you are saying, you know, you can tell me about all the crimes you committed that you want, and you can't be prosecuted for them.
Look at that.
Your statements to the prosecution admitting to crimes cannot be used against you. It is sometimes a last-ditch effort when prosecutors desperately want to extract evidence, information from a witness, but that witness has a privilege against self-incrimination, and the only way we can extract the information is if we promise not to use those statements against them to prosecute them. So I was a little surprised when I heard, I mean, I'm a lot surprised by everything that's going on here, including that Todd Blanche, Donald Trump's former criminal defense attorney, who is still duty bound to keep Donald Trump's secrets. Because when you represent a defendant in a criminal case, you almost certainly come into information that could incriminate your client, because the
Whoa.
client needs to tell the attorney everything they did. And of course, Donald Trump was convicted in the case that Todd Blanche represented.
I didn't know that. Well, okay. So he still has to hold his secrets. Okay.
Presented him in the New York
Is it client attorney-client privilege? This is kind of where that stands, right?
prosecution. Donald Trump was convicted of 34 felony crimes. You know, Todd Blanche, as we sit here today, is still ethically obligated to keep Donald Trump's secrets in confidence, because even when the attorney-client relationship is over, the attorney-client privilege lasts forever. So it's a special kind of insanity and unethical conduct and conflict of interest for somebody like Todd Blanche, who is still the keeper of Donald Trump's secrets, criminal secrets from when he represented him, to be sitting down with Ghislaine Maxwell, who potentially could incriminate Donald Trump. I mean, this is unethical behavior at its most pernicious. So I got sidetracked there, but Todd Blanche, this is a conflict jamboree, a conflict palooza. He has no business sitting down and talking with and evaluating the information from Ghislaine Maxwell. And then on top of it, they give her immunity. And basically they're saying, you can say anything you damn well please and it can't be used against you. So her credibility is about as low as it gets. But let's pile on top of that, Brian, the fact that Ghislaine Maxwell was indicted for perjury previously in connection with allegations that she lied under oath in a 20.
This is what you guys were talking about in the chat. So it does kind of make you wonder what this is all about. Is this just a show? Maybe. I don't know.
2016 deposition on questions as fundamental as, do you know anything about Jeffrey Epstein soliciting underage girls for sexual massages? Her answer under oath was, I have no idea what you're talking about. She was indicted for perjury. The only reason she wasn't tried for perjury is because the judge ordered that the perjury charge should be severed out, should be tried in a separate case from the sex trafficking and conspiracy case in which she was convicted in New York. But it's hard to envision somebody with less credibility than Ghislaine Maxwell.
Okay.
And of course, on top of all that, I have every reason to believe that Ghislaine Maxwell probably spent, 9 hours or more telling Todd Blanche, Donald Trump is as pure as the driven snow. I have no information about crimes he committed with Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh my God. Do y'all think that that's what she did? Do you guys think that that's what she did? Just to kind of get out of that situation? Be like, listen, I don't want to say nothing wrong about the president. Is it possible that she did that? Oh, yep. It's getting all erased by a smooth criminal. Yep. Absolutely, yes. I don't know. Okay, let's keep going.
Or anybody else for that matter. And then, of course, the next question from Ghislaine Maxwell and her lawyers would very likely be, can I have my presidential pardon now?
Right. And that was kind of my next question here is, we know that Ghislaine Maxwell is interested in a pardon. We know from the DOJ that they've given her this temporary immunity. Is there anything else that we can glean from this, or is that just the veneer of, okay, look, this is us being transparent and we're admitting that we're giving her temporary immunity so that we can kind of get you off our backs if you ask the real question, which is, did we offer her something else on top of that?
Yeah. So the immunity thing is tricky, because when prosecutors grant a witness or a defendant or somebody who might aspire to be a cooperating witness, that is a defendant who typically pleads guilty to their crimes in exchange for a reduced sentence or a reduced plea or some kind of a benefit from the prosecutors. Because listen, if push comes to shove, we will give folks who committed crimes benefits, make them cooperating witnesses, if they can bring to the table evidence that we can then use in future prosecutions against.
That's very true. That's the kind of deals that you do. If you can bring something, bring a bigger fish, right? Then we'll make a deal with you. That's kind of how it's always been historically.
Against bigger criminal fish.
Right.
But what we don't do is give somebody immunity so they can falsely help somebody get away with crimes, in the event that's what Ghislaine Maxwell is doing with respect to Donald Trump. This is the legal upside down in which we are living. So what the terms of the immunity typically are, and I've been involved in grants of immunity dozens and dozens of times in my 30 years as a federal prosecutor, usually what we do is we sit down with somebody like Maxwell, somebody who we believe has information about the crimes of others. And before we ever give them immunity, we require them to go through what's called a proffer session. Now, stick with me here. What's a proffer session? A proffer session.
Proffer, that sounds, if you've been following any of the true crime cases, especially in Hollywood, that seems to be the thing, these proffer agreements. But go ahead.
Involves us giving them what's called queen for a day immunity. For that one session, we give them immunity and we say, listen, if you are 100% truthful with us, we will evaluate the information and evidence you're providing us under this 1 day immunity letter agreement. And we will see if we can corroborate it with independent evidence so we can assess the credibility of what you're telling us. And if it turns out to be true and accurate and corroborated and useful in us going after bigger criminal fish, then we will strike a more permanent deal with you. That permanent deal may be a cooperation agreement where we reduce charges or reduce a sentence you're serving, or it may be full-blown immunity. I have no confidence that they've gone through the regular law.
I've heard of this before, queen for a day. Hell, KPD had a proffer agreement and he effed it up. Okay, where he gives all the information that you give it, and then you kind of like, as long as you're not like writing books or giving interviews or going to Vlad TV and changing your story up or saying a little bit too much, you should be fine under that proffer agreement. And I have a feeling that this woman, all she wants to do is get out and then change her identity and be done. That's what she wants to do.
Enforcement and prosecutorial procedures before they rushed to sit down with Ghislaine Maxwell before her scheduled August 11th congressional testimony appearance. But the other thing people should know is that when we grant somebody immunity, nothing they say about their own crimes can be used against them, but it doesn't protect them from perjury. What do I mean by that? It means that if somebody sits down with the prosecutor—
Margot, why would we come for you? We know that they don't care about us. I mean, that's the whole theme of this situation. They're doing deals and doing different things, and they're not there to protect the victims. We know that. So, yeah, like, I don't know why you say, come for me or do the research. Don't. We're not coming for you, girl. Shout out to you. So let's see. They're both not very honest groups. That's how it is, Yeah, it's giving Keefe D. Remember the Keefe D deal? That's what we know, right? I said once, the victim, I feel I could have kept her in jail, was magically unalive. Maxwell, you talk about Virginia Giuffre. Maxwell will push for a pardon. Now Epstein's lawyer past Trump will pardon her to keep him in the team and clear. Sounds like a lot of crazy ass deals. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, this is not aimed at certain people. Like, I need you guys to, this is not political. This is about what is right and what is wrong. We have a judicial system that is failing us, and here's an example of this. Stop being blind by the political stuff. I don't care who you voted for. A lot of people voted for Trump. A lot of people voted for the other team. I don't care. They divide us. That's what they do. Huh? Make it. Make me a cupcake. I can't make it right now. You're going to have to wait. So let's just keep it real. You know what I mean? Like, we're not here for that. We just want to hear both sides. I'm not a political channel, and I don't expect you guys to be married to my opinions. Actually, I would hope that you're not. I actually hope that people are very much independent thinkers. You guys don't have to agree with me. We just want the truth, We want to make sure that criminals are being pardoned. That's it. And that this is going about it the right way. The way this has started has been crazy. Okay, so let's hit play on this.
Under a grant of immunity, and provides a bunch of information, and then they testify in the future in a way that's inconsistent. It's a lie, inconsistent with the information they provided during the immunity debriefings or discussions. They can be prosecuted for that future perjury. So here's what I'm trying to get at, and I feel like I'm giving the most convoluted explanation.
They can't be prosecuted for future perjury under the proffer agreement. That's what happened to Keefe D, by the way.
Of all. But if they sat down with Ghislaine Maxwell and they gave her this grant of immunity, and she said, Donald Trump did nothing wrong with Jeffrey Epstein, committed no crimes. That's the story she's locked into. That's her immunized story. What does that mean? It means she has to stick with that script. In other words, if she were to testify before Congress on August 11th and said, all right, I got to be straight with y'all, I do have information about crimes committed by Donald Trump, what would that do? It would contradict what she told Todd Blanche in these immunity conversations, and then she could be prosecuted for perjury. So this could very effectively lock her in to the story that she told Todd Blanche. Again, I'm betting it's Donald Trump did nothing wrong. Let's not forget, Todd Blanche and Ghislaine Maxwell's defense attorneys are friends, and we know that because Todd Blanche said so on the defense attorney's podcast previously. And the defense attorney, his name is David Oscar Marcus. Even before they sat down with Todd Blanche for this meeting, the defense attorney thanked Donald Trump for his transparency in trying to get to the bottom of all this. I mean,
literally, yeah, Big Bird is squawking. Poor Big Bird. Poor Big Bird. Oh my goodness. Okay.
If that is not a signal that we're with you and we're ready to receive our pardon, I don't know what is.
Well, look, we're getting more and more information by the day in terms of what's going to unfold in this story. Sadly, to your exact point, the DOJ has already met with Maxwell, so they had the opportunity to get to her before Congress did with their August 11th deposition. So we'll see how that plays out. And of course, if there was anything said during this immunized session that she's going to negate when she finally has that discussion with members of Congress in the Oversight Committee. So we will, of course, stay on top of all of this. For everybody watching, if you'd like to follow along, please make sure to subscribe to both of our channels. The links are right here on the screen. It's the best way to support our work, the best way to support independent media. And
how they explain things, especially for us that we're not really like big on, different things. See, Fox is now reporting on this immunity situation. Listen, this is huge.
Here to live now from Fox.
Yo, I don't like Fox. Me and Fox do not like each other. Okay, Fox is trash. They treat their employees like trash, and they're not very good reporters and people. Just gonna say that. I'm sure the people are nice, but it's just I don't like Fox. And I like how they've done a switch now. Now that it was one of their very own reporter that called Trump out. So they're reporting a little bit different. I don't know if y'all noticed. I've just noticed the tune of it being a little bit different. Listen to what they have to say.
So we do have some breaking news that we are following for you. We've been giving you updates on how Ghislaine Maxwell wrapping up part 2 of her talks with the DOJ. Now we're learning that she was offered limited immunity for those talks. Those are the latest reports coming right now. Take a look here at this update saying, I'm told Ghislaine Maxwell was granted a limited form of immunity.
Which I think is pretty basic if you're going to talk to the feds, right? Like if you're lying to us and there was 8 or 9 men in blue suits, they came in, the men in blue, not the men in black, the men in blue. Men in black deal with the aliens. Men in blue came in there, rushing in there, and they wanted to talk to the lady. So they better not be wasting time. That's what they said.
In exchange for speaking with the DOJ, confirming the Catherine Folder's report, the immunity is often offered to people whom prosecutors want to cooperate And Maxwell has already been tried and found guilty, plus doesn't cover perjury. So also being reported from the New York Post, we are learning that Maxwell named some 100 different people linked to the late pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. And an attorney for the disgraced socialite claimed today, following 2 days of
Rupert Murdoch owns Fox News too. Lord have mercy.
interrogation led by Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. So that is some new news that we are learning for you here at this hour, and it continues to be talked about. We just heard from President Trump earlier today in a talk back with media, saying that he had the right to pardon her if he so chooses there. So we'll be definitely watching this closely as more of the investigation into those Epstein files does continue. But again, limited immunity being offered up right now for Ghislaine Maxwell during her 2-day talk with the DOJ.
I mean, I wouldn't talk to the DOJ unless they offered me something. You would think that that would be the case. That's why you're noticing a shift in the reporting. I agree with this. Shouldn't it be the left fighting against the right, but the bottom fighting against those on top, the powerful elites? Shouldn't be nobody left or right. It should everybody be fighting together. Everybody should be uniting together because we want the truth of this matter. That's that divisiveness and mind thinking. This is why I tell you, whether whoever said it in the chat, we're going back and forth a little bit. This isn't political. I don't care about who you voted for. This is not political. And the minute that we start doing that, we fall into the trap where we're distracted by the information that they're giving us. And I'm so glad that a lot of people are speaking out and saying, no, we refuse to allow. We may not like each other. People may not like each other in each party, but we can come together in a common cause and say, or even for those that are in the middle, which typically it's like, I don't like any of these two. To me, I'm always kind of like, I think everybody can come together and agree to the fact that something's up with this. It doesn't make sense. It stinks. And it smells like a dead corpse type of situation. And when that is stinking like that, people need to look into it. People need to look into it. And we are all allowed to criticize the president. We're all allowed to criticize these political figures because we shouldn't be fighting each other. We need to criticize them. Okay? That's what we need to do. Yep. Systemic government sponsor divisiveness. I don't want to be divided. There's a lot of things that already divide us. Why do we have to be divided by our political? And even the fact, let me be very clear. The fact, like Gavin Newsom, all these people right here, these Democrats that are weaponizing this, I don't like that either. I've said it multiple times. I think it's bullshit. I think it's also propaganda. Great if they're going to stand up for the truth and everything, but don't use it to, build your profile as a politician. Don't do that because we could see right through it. Okay. Everybody should have been fighting that's up there with these political people, should have been fighting together to figure this out, but they waited. Why? Because they're both somehow implicated in that situation. Okay. The left and the right. Pick your poison. Which way do you want to go? What do you think is doing better? What would Jesus do, as many of you guys would say? Jesus wants me to vote one way. Are you sure about that? Okay. Anyways. I know people have selective hearing, Rabbit. Most of us know you come from all sides. I really do come from all sides. If you know my background, you would know that I really am a both sides kind of person. And I'm not married to any side because no side has done well by a lot of people. So it's very divisive. So like Gavin Newsom here, of course he's going to attack Trump. He doesn't like Trump, especially after the fires in California, which was handled poorly, by the way. I will say that. They did a horrible job. And they still are. They're not doing a very good job. Karen Bass is not doing a good job as well. Okay, we can call them out. I don't care what side they're in. Fire aid is a total disaster. Look at this. Nice try. Release the Epstein files. He's calling them out because Trump continues to deflect all of this. And it's just not going to work. They found his way to get at him. No, thank you. Thank you. Come again. Wasn't the attempt immunity while she answers questions? Yes, that's right. That is absolutely correct. Give me one sec, y'all. I want a nice picture. Okay. Thank you. I want a nice picture. I mean, you're not going to get away from these photos. Look at this. Even people said, okay, now do the Epstein files. People aren't going to forget this. We just can't. We can't. And we're going to keep asking. We saw this one earlier this morning. Like, you can deflect as much as you want. It's just not. It's all over Twitter. And then also keep in mind that Elon owns this little app right here, and so he's going to keep all this stuff up, right? Like he's not going to let this go. I mean, look at this. You got all these people going at it. There's so many accounts. Show us the Epstein file. Oh, excuse me. This is Donald Trump Jr. back in 2023. Show us all the Epstein client list now. Why would anyone protect those scumbags? This didn't age very well for Mr. Donald Trump Jr. Okay, ask yourselves this question daily, and the answer becomes very apparent. They're literally using the very own tweets that these people did. Okay, this is Trump Jr. Donald Jr. Donnie Jr. Have you had a phone call with your dad? Have you gotten on the phone with your dad and asked him how come he's not doing anything about this yet? And this is 2023. So, I mean, the gaslighting is real, you guys. The gaslighting is real when it comes to this. I'm telling you, I got people that will come into my comments and just give me tell me why it's okay for them to do this. And I will not. I have boundaries. You will not gaslight me. Okay. So far, every cylinder's firing it up. We just not doing it. Okay. It seems like, thank you. It seems like a major psychological operation happening here. I don't know. Donnie without the purple socks. There you go. Oh no, go give me the pen. Thank you. Ask him to ask his go ask your papi. Papa. Just like how I asked my dad, what do you think about Diddy? El Diddy? Yes, El Diddy. What's going on with El Donaldo? What's going on with Donaldo? What's up with him? Why is he doing too much? Go ask him. What's going on with Jeff? What's going on? That's what we have to do. We just gotta stay on. We gotta stay on it and not give up. Has Donald Trump Jr. said anything since this broke? I don't know. Let me see if I can look at his. That's a great question. Let's see. Is he gonna say this is a hoax too? It was AI who wrote my Donald Trump Jr. Right? Lord have mercy. Let's see. I don't follow the. Okay, he has a show Triggered with Don Jr. Oh man. July 22nd. He's not talking about no Epstein files. July 24th. Let's see what's recent. Replies and tweets. Let's see. No. I mean, 13 hours he like retweeted something. No. He's not worried. He hasn't even said anything. He's got nothing to say. Look at that. He's got a reality TV show. It looks like they're looking into crypto, right? Look at this. Nothing. Hulk. Oh, he talked about Hulk Hogan, which was what, yesterday? Okay. I mean, he sure as hell made sure to make a post about that, but no Trump files yet. I wonder why Obama appointed judge would do such things, and yet nothing on nothing. Look at this. He posted a little map, and this was on the 23rd. So he's doing little things here and there to deflect. I mean, but like he's no comment. Can't talk about that. Fake news. Fake news. I'm going to tell you guys something. This is a stain. Okay. People aren't going to forget. A lot of MAGA people aren't forgetting. And I'm glad that they're not. I don't like the MAGA stuff, but shout out to them for at least being real, even though the leader of the MAGAs is not. Okay. He's just not. He's not. He's shown himself. He's not real. It's not real. And he is bullshitting. That's all he's done. That's it. And it's okay to say that. Okay. Yeah. You know what I mean? My MAGA family. I know I have some too, girl. I have some. That's what I'm saying. We don't talk about politics in the table because it would be we'll be fighting. Yeah, they've been quiet. They're not trying to shove all that into my throat. I'm like, y'all are quiet. Yeah, are you thirsty? Are you good? But hey, it's all good. It's gonna be okay, y'all. But like I said, this is not. I really hope that. Honestly, I hope that things go well with this situation. I just don't see it going that way. Okay, I really don't. I know, and I think we will need to wake up and understand that that people were lied to. Okay, people were lied to, and it wouldn't be the first time. It's politics. That's all they do. They lie. They lied to us. Immunity for this woman for speaking, I guess that would make sense. That's what I would be asking for if I was her, if I had to, and I probably would speak very highly of the president. I'm not going to implicate him in anything. Hell no. But I think that she knows what's up, and she, in my opinion, change your identity, and that's what you got to do. So they haven't been identified. Right? You said, we know Donald's kids were around Epstein. We see pictures. Yeah, they're all there. I mean, but, she knows the drill. That's right. She knows the drill. That is very correct. Is insane to you? Yeah. So, some people should just stay off social media. They really show how dumb they are. It doesn't matter if the truth slaps them in the face. They will find ways to twist it. Yeah, I mean, or to have it make sense to you. And I don't feel like, to a certain degree, you got to understand that, that's what politics does. It brings the worst. And so if we could just look at it in a way in which it's not about politics, but it's about what's wrong and right in a situation. I want you to imagine this. If you are a victim out of the 1,000 people, which some of those people are, millennial age. I have some millennials or Gen Xers. I want you to think about that. If that was you, your sister, whoever it may be, you would want justice. Okay. You would want justice now and not 60 years from now, which is what happened. What do we do with MLK? What is it? Martin Luther King files from 60 years ago. What do we do with that? What are we supposed to do? And people in the civil rights, arena are really pissed off that these files for Martin Luther King were released, for Dr. King were released during this time to kind of deflect from the Epstein files. I heard about that too from various creators, that they were mad about that. I don't blame them. I think it's deflection. I don't think it's right. And I get tired that people say, well, who are we protecting? They don't care about us, It's just sad. That's it, That's all. Y'all are crazy in the comments. Is everybody okay? Is everybody okay? Okay, it is. You think it's distraction tactics? It's a lot of them. It's a lot of them. You said, I'm telling you now that MF isn't real. Which one isn't real? Which one? The alien one or which one? The people who are in charge must be close to this for it to have switched so hard. It switched like literally in the matter. Remember, they didn't want to talk to her. Now they do. They weren't thinking about pardoning her. Now they do because of the backlash. Yeah, the estate wasn't thrilled. Thank you for saying this, because I was like, I've been hearing this. They were not happy that the Epstein file, that this conversation, right? That all this was happening. And so what does Trump do? He deflects and throws in the Epstein files. And you know what? Even when and it's supposed to be something that I think it's important, right? Because no matter where you land on whatever situation, everybody wants the truth overall, right? But he's using a lot to deflect. It's last week it was what is it, the one lady, well, Obama did this. Okay, so what about those Epstein files? That's great, Obama did that. All right, so you gonna make sure that there's a report in there to have him arrested? Do it, girl, right now. Do it. Okay. But what about the Epstein files? That's important. I don't know. Once it impacts the elite families, their wealth is impacted and can be taken it, then it opens the door for other elites families to fall. They fear that because they lose the power, that's tough. I'm concerned about MLK. He was assassinated. There you go. People want to know, but this was just the way they released this is a little bit crazy. Listen to yourself. You want us to talk about child victims who are protected by courts under anonymity. Are all of them protected or just some of them? I do wonder about this though, Vic. I do wonder. Let's see. It's really a psyop to keep us confused fighting. Okay, girl. With each other, because when next pandemic drops, we will be fearful to what they say. Oh yeah, there's that too. Lord, that's all it takes is for a pandemic to drop, and then everybody's like, get your mask on, let's go. Keeps us in line. That was crazy, man. That was crazy. But let me know what you guys think about everything. And by the way, you guys don't have to agree with me. You can disagree with me. You can say whatever you want in the comments. I have a lot of questions about this. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about it. You know, I don't feel like I have the answers to everything, but we're gonna keep following. You want a lollipop? Okay, we're gonna get a lollipop. We're gonna keep following. Sorry for those that don't like anything, for me to talk about this. We're gonna keep following. Yeah. Yep. You said those boring files, the ones that will expose all the Pedialites. Yeah. Are you still talking about Epstein? That guy? You still talking about Epstein? That guy's so boring. I didn't know we were trying to be entertained by this, so I thought we wanted the truth. Yeah, it's crazy, huh? Till we get the files. Where hashtag till we get the files. That's when we gonna stop talking about this. All right, guys. You guys have a beautiful, wonderful what is it? Friday night. Okay, we're gonna get a lollipop. Deal? 1 second. 5 minutes. All right. I will see you guys on the next one. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for being supportive and helping me talk about this. And for those that were respectful in the comments, thank you. Like I said, y'all don't have to agree with me. You guys have a good one. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys. Bye-bye.